Dear trustees, staff, and guests, I wanted to take this opportunity to address the following comments. First of all, I'd like to address this to Trustee Mary Mango. I'm sorry for the vote of the green mask. I did not do that to hurt you personally. There was a public outcry when people preferred to have a green mask with a new sequence. So as a public servant, I have to listen to the public. I just serve the public, not to hurt you. I respect you for what you have done for the Western School District for the past 11 years. You have sacrificed your time and effort to serve the district. However, those remarks that you make after the meeting, they are clear in my mind. First of all, you call me a snake. You call me, you are like Margie Rice. And I didn't think I'm anything like Margie Rice. You live in my neighborhood. You don't know how powerful I am. I would do anything to put you down. This one is very hard. You sleep with Jensen Powerhard to cook this up. You did this for Kim Boyd, for WTA, question mark. Then you text me saying I'm a liar. You test my faith, saying that you are going to mass at church. You call yourself a Catholic. And you said, you think 100 people in this room will help you with your campaign. My voting was not for my personal interest, period. My voting was not for Kim Boyd or WTA. My voting was not for upcoming campaign running for Western School District. My voting again was for the residents, the parents, the students, and for anyone who cares for Western School District. One parent, Mr. Dave Johnson, requested a meeting with me to present his facts and opinion from the public in a very professional manner. During those times, I did not ask him for any favor or anything that would help me with my campaign. I have a business to run, yet I closed my store for an hour to meet with Mr. Dave Johnson because of my duty as a trustee, and he is a parent of a student in Western School District whom I never met before. You will all day. You don't have to stop everything to meet the parents. I do. I have a business. Anyone can walk in anytime to talk to me. For the trustees, they might have to set up an appointment to meet with them. So sometimes it takes longer to solve a problem for their child or their children. So last year when I ran for trustee of Western School District, I ran it with my own principle, with integrity, with experience as a business leader, as an educator, as a family member who believes in family values, as a community activist who cared for this Western community for the past 35 years. I believe in family values, in friendship, in community services, in giving back to the community, in teaching the younger generation to be kind, to learn to give back, to be able to have the best education, to have the freedom to live as a human being, and to believe in faith, as I believe in the faith that guide me to do the right thing. I do things for others with or without a title. I am not someone who is trying to build a political career. I enter this political world to make a difference, while I have the ability to do so. I am not some young woman who is unruly, who is trying to build a life and to make me look great. I sat and wondered for a long time. If it is between two options, let the public take you down as they said they would, or vote for the green man, with a different sequence. So I chose to vote to bring that rather than let the public take it down. I don't know if you were in my position, would you do the same thing? As a trustee, I thank you for all your help because you did this before me. For your consideration, thanks for being my friend.
Trustee Mangold.
Okay, so I was going to move on, this is water under the bridge. However, I'm not gonna let that go. I'm not gonna not respond to that. So just so some of you folks who are new, I still see a couple new faces out there, which my public comments welcomed you, welcome new folks running for the board. I think that's absolutely crucial to a district moving forward. That being said, the way the whole map thing transpired, just so you know the whole background on the map, was the initial green map that was put into place with Trustee Wynn and I in the same neighborhood. It gave her the ability to not run when her term was finished, which was in 2020. Because it gave me the ability to run. And so I didn't think that was fair. And I was approached by her, and I was also approached by other board members that wasn't a fair thing. And so I thought about it, and I said, that's not fair, because there's 5 trustees, the public elects them. It's not a people in the audience, it's not a teachers union, it's the public. The public has the right to vote who they want into or out of office. So just based on those facts, I said every trustee should have their own area, and they should have the date of when they were elected. So her next term, when her term is finished in 2020, she was not going to be allowed to run until 2022. So I went out on a limb for her and said, let's be fair to all 5 trustees. And we proposed the orange map. And so it's all water under the bridge, but the people who know me the best, my folks in my neighborhood, my husband and my kids, the people who said, Mary, as soon as you shook Renee's hand at 8th grade graduation, weren't you going to be through? Like you were going to quit in July? Because that's what all the folks knew. I was not going to run another term. And people clearly knew that know me. I have no desire to be on a board when my children are out of the district. I have children at the high school level. I have a child in college. And so these new folks, the new blood, you need to be the folks up here. So I wasn't even going to run again. So it was all based on principle. But I'm going to go directly to Ms. Kim Bowie, and I'm just surprised that she's not in the front row this evening. I'm a strong union supporter. I've been in CTA for 31 years. My husband's in a union. My dad was in a union. My grandfather was in a union. My sisters are in a union. So you're not going to meet a more union-strong family. But I'm also for what's right and what's true. And so Kim Bowie sent this to me in the mail. From one teacher to another, we need your help. And it's all about the school board and if you want to run. So I want to give WTA some help. Because they even wrote a little private message to me here. Another little quote, Kim. Mary, please help. Thank you for your support. Stacy, WSB teacher. So let's go over WTA's involvement in school board politics. We can go way back to Helena Rokowski. Now these are names you folks probably don't know, but I've been around a long time. I believe you endorsed her the first go around. Did not endorse her the second go around, because when you put 30 to 40,000 into a person's campaign, you are buying their vote, Ms. Bowie. So then we move on. After her, we have Flossie Marquez, Spanish surname. You endorsed her 1 round. She ran again. You didn't endorse her because they started voting not the way we wanted them to vote. Then we went to Joanne Purcell. Endorsed her 1 time. She ran again. You didn't endorse her. So do you see a pattern with WTA? When they don't vote the way they want them to vote, they don't endorse them. Let's go to Dave Bridgewaters. You endorsed him the first time. You didn't endorse him the second time. Let's go to the Hispanic trustee that was on our board for 8 years, Sergio Contreras. You never endorsed him. But yet you have the Hispanic community riled up when your union has always chosen not to endorse them. So it gets a little complicated, doesn't it, Kim? Because a good leader is one who stands on integrity. And that's what I always have. And so for you folks who don't know the background, they've endorsed me 3 times. So I have a pretty good track record. None of those other folks going back maybe 25 years did you endorse 3 times. But the minute I started standing up really for the students is when they got really angry. And 2 things that I heard some of you new parents speak about, because I really want you to do your research, because I want some great folks on the board. I heard very loud and clear the BRAVE program and the Chromebooks. And just so you know, I was the one who made sure that the BRAVE program was implemented here. And Kim Bowie met with us to tell us that it was too much work for her teachers. That was the BRAVE program, and I fought to get that program in here. Let's go to Chromebooks and the I4 program. Kim Bowie fought against getting those Chromebooks into the lower grades because she wanted that money for teacher salaries. No matter how many times I tried to explain to you, Miss Bowie, that that money was to go to our students for Chromebooks, you still didn't get it. And that's where the break in our relationship came. But I'm not going to stay quiet, Kim. I still have 11 months up here, and I wasn't going to run again. But it is a badge of honor to me to think that you were so afraid of me running again and winning that you threatened a fellow board member, that you told them that if they did not vote for the MAC to oust Mary Mangold, that you would not endorse them in the next election. Not only that, you chastised them for looking on their phone and getting correct factual information, so much to the point that the person had to leave the meeting ill. So I went home that night, Kim, and I could sleep well. I've been up here 12 years. Any single person who's known me for a long time knows that Mary Mangold stands for what she believes is right. For you new folks, many, many times I was called a puppet of the teachers union. That was my name, Mary Mangold, puppet of the teachers union. And then all of a sudden, the classified folks started seeing how much I stood up for them, how much I worked to save Mr. Klemback's job, Kim Bowie, and his whole department. And so when you send me something like this in the mail, is that professional, Kim? Is that writing a personal note to me like that really professional? And you don't think that I'm going to speak about it in public? So for all of you folks that are looking for an endorsement, the unions aren't real popular right now. I'm part of CTA. Kim Bowie knows very well one of your own teachers is part of the agency fee lawsuit. And the unions know that that's probably going to be decided at the Supreme Court, not in the union's favor. So I think, Kim, that you're going to be in a world of hurt if you don't start putting our students first. If you don't stop playing dirty politics, if you don't start getting different ethnic groups riled up against each other, and if you don't get a board going at each other who was working so cohesively just a few short months ago. So at the end of the meeting, please come take your flyer back. Take me off your mailing list, and please don't write any personal notes like that, because a true leader is one who's honest, who has integrity. And something like that is just a little, small, pitiful leader. And I have always put the students first, and I will continue to do that until my term is up in November. So thank you.
Trustee Nguyen?
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank the Smith's performance, which was awesome. I know it's about art. We talked about how to go.
This is gaslighting.